That was the burden of his song for an hour or more.
Give me your impression of his appearance.
Well, when I saw him this morning, I thought he was wasting away. I was wrong. His shoulders and chest are massive, like a giant.
Good.
But his body tapers almost to nothing. Possibly a childhood illness. The legs are spindled.
And the shoes are interesting. Left one wrinkled, right smooth.
Really? I didn't notice that. What does it mean?
An artificial leg.
Then I should have noticed it, shouldn't I? Rather more in my line of business than yours.
Well, not necessarily. I could quiz you at least a dozen cases where a false limb was central to a crime.
I don't doubt it for a moment.
The most interesting being Pierre Berteron, the Parisian dipper. Lost his right arm in a railway accident and was 10 times the pickpocket afterwards than he ever was before.
Good Lord.
Arrested in the Louvre Museum in 1873. 1873. What did you get out of Amberley once you were inside the house?
One moment, Dr. Watson. Let me clear the way.
Let me help you.
No, that's not necessary, sir. Yeah. That's better. I must apologize for the mess.
Oh, please don't. Decorating's always a disruption.
It's supposed to be a soothing colour, green, restful to the soul. Do you believe it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Well, it doesn't work, sir. It doesn't work. In here, if you please.
You say the house was a mess?
And dingy, too. Depressing and old-fashioned.
Any staff?
Only a daily woman. She's always gone by 6.
You know, this case gets more interesting by the minute.
It does?
Look at her. That woman swore to love, honour and obey me, sir, but I've seen precious little of those things. I suppose a promise made in church means nothing to such a person.
Mr. Amberley.
I never want to see her damn face again.
Tell me about the night she left.
Oh, the ingratitude. That's the hardest thing of all, the ingratitude. We were going to the theatre.
Which one?
The Haymarket. I bought seats in the upper circle.
You said you were going.
At the last moment, she refused. Complained of a headache.
Did you stay with her?
I went alone. No sense in wasting both tickets.
I suppose not.
I was going to speak to the theatre about a refund. This wretched business drove it from my mind.
What time did you get home? Mr. Amberley.
Where did I put it?
Mr. Amberley, please.
Look at that, sir. What a waste of time and effort. To think it was supposed to be a treat.
What time did you get home?
About midnight. And found my house plundered and my wife gone.
You sent for the police straight away?
For all the good it did.
Yeah, a man after your own heart.
Did you examine this ticket?
31, row B.
Excellent.
I know you like the details.
What else did he tell you?
He showed me where the cash box was kept.
His bedroom. His study.
Oh, no.
His strong room.
That's what he called it, and that's what it is.
Step inside, Doctor.
Thank you. Could you turn on the light?
One moment. There.
The room's about 6 feet square. Plain walls, single gas light in the center of the ceiling. An old box room, I think.
The door?
Iron, and so's the window shutter. There are locks on both.
With a common key or two separate ones?
Separate. Both of them on Amberley's keychain at all times.
This room was locked when I left for the theatre.
Was the door forced?
Impossible. She must have copied my keys.
You found the door open?
And the window, sir.
And the window?
Yes. I thought that was curious.
Did they take the cash box or merely the contents?
I wouldn't advise you to use the word merely in your client's hearing.
Which was it, Watson?
They took the whole thing, sir. £7,000 worth of cash and securities.
Mr. Holmes will need details of the securities.
I've already given a list to the police.
A copy would be useful.
Oh, very well.
Here.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yes. there is. The strangest thing of all.
So naturally you leave it to the last. A scientific reasoner would have put the most important observation first.
If you wanted scientific reasoning, you should have gone yourself. Do you want to hear this?
Of course.
You remember the lounger I mentioned? The man I asked for directions?
Around 20, tall, dark, heavily moustached, pronounced Scottish accent, curt and unpleasant.
All right, so of course you remember. Anyway, I drove back to Blackheath Station, and just as the train was pulling out, a man came running down the platform and jumped into the coach next to mine. It was the same man, I'd swear to it.
Did you see him again?
At London Bridge.
What happened?
He followed me.
Did he now?
Oh, yes. I let him keep me in sight for 10 minutes till I was quite certain. Then I lost him and came straight back here.
Excellent, Watson. He picked the wrong man. He's probably still cursing you and his own incompetence.
But why was he following me?
Yes, why indeed. Tall, dark man with grey tinted sunglasses.
I didn't say a word about his sunglasses.
You also neglected to mention his Masonic tie-pin.
My God. It was you. It was, wasn't it? In one of your damn disguises. You sent me off to investigate for you, but you don't trust me to do a decent job. Well, thank you very much.
It wasn't me.
Then who was he and why was he following me?
Attempting to follow you. Quite simple, but let's get down to practicalities.
Oh.
You missed some vital points.
What have I missed?
Oh, my dear fellow, don't be hurt.
What have I missed?
Everything of importance.
Oh, damn it.
Watson, no one else would have done better. Some possibly not so well.
If that was meant to be an apology.
It wasn't merely a simple statement of fact.
Just tell me what I failed to do.
You should have talked to the neighbours. What's their opinion of Amberley and of his wife? And you should have found out about this Dr. Ernest. Is he respected? Is he liked? What do his patients think of him?
And how exactly could I have found that out?
By using your natural advantages.
What are you talking about?
Charm, Doctor. Allure, fascination. No member of the fair sex can resist you.
That's a ludicrous generalization.
Yes, I can picture you whispering sweet nothings to the barmaid at the Blue Anchor and receiving hard somethings in return.
It can still be done.
True enough. Well, there's no hurry.
No hurry. Every hour they're getting further away.
No, I think we'll leave it there for the moment. Karina sings Beethoven tonight at the Albert Hall. Still have time to dress, dine, and enjoy.
No, thank you.
Watson?
You know how complicated Beethoven is. I'd undoubtedly miss everything of importance. Good evening.
Damn.
There you are. I should drink it quickly before it eats its way through the mug. Well, Mr. Holmes, this is a pleasant surprise. It's good to see you again.
And you, Lestrade. How are you?
How do I look? I'm worn out.
My dear chap.
No, I mean it. These all-night observations. It's a young man's game.
Then why not assign a young man to it?
Well, you want a job doing well, there's only one way. Paid off, too, even if I do say it myself.
You got your man.
Men. Nasty little gang of extortionists.
Congratulations.
This is the beginning of the work, not the end.
I know it.
Paperwork, sorting out the evidence, talking to the lawyers. You don't know how lucky you are. Well, I should just about have time to see it through to court before I go.
Ah, yes, beginning of January, isn't it?
I didn't know you knew that. You've been up to your old tricks again, sending in the odd youngster off the street to spy for you?
No, the days of the Baker Street irregulars are long gone.
You've not been hanging around the place in some disguise or other.
No, another young man's game.
Oh, come on now. There'll be a bit of a do when I leave. Well, not your sort of thing, I know, but if you feel like coming along...
I don't think so. You won't be offended.
Truth be told, I'd rather not go myself. I hate those things. When Toby Gregson left...
You found it awkward?
Him too, I think. I mean, what do you say? You can't just say goodbye like you're going off for the weekend.
No, you can't.
We had our ups and downs, of course. But he was a damn good friend. I hope he knows I think so. Well, not the sort of thing you can come straight out with, really.
Are you sorry to be retiring?
No, it's not the same anymore. Not like... Well, sorry to be unoriginal, but not like in the good old days.
A cliché worthy of the Strand magazine.
Yes, and don't think I'll ever live that down. Small, sallow and rat-faced indeed.
Oh, no, you can't blame me for that.
No, I suppose not. How is the good doctor?
Oh, happily ensconced in Queen Anne Street, master of Morley Surveys.
Grace and I enjoyed the wedding. Good of him to invite us. She's a fine-looking woman, the new Mrs. Watson.
Would you have expected anything less?
No, I suppose not. Mr. Holmes,
Lestrade?
you didn't call in to swap stories about Watson. What do you really want?
I was in the building.
Seeing the Commissioner about some hush-hush job, yes, I know. But social calls aren't your style. So?
Very good, Lestrade. Josiah Amberley.
Come in. Who's next, Mrs. Cooper?
No more appointments till 12, Doctor, but a gentleman to see you, if you're free. His card.
Ask the gentleman to step in.
Yes, Doctor. Please go in, sir.
Good morning, Watson.
Holmes?
May I?
Of course.
Thank you. Impressive setup. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I see you number the junior minister for overseas trade among your patients.
Holmes, my patient list is highly confidential.
Well, the same can't be said for the ashtray in your waiting room.
Thank the Lord all my patients aren't like you.
Oh, my dear Watson, your health would never stand it. I've come to apologize.
I know you have.
Oh?
If you wanted my help again, you'd have sent a note.
Could have been too urgent for that.
Then you'd have telephoned. Or at the very least, not spent several minutes complimenting me on my consulting room and showing off your knowledge of handmade cigarette ends. I accept your apology, of course.
Thank you.
And I offer you one of my own. There was no need for me to fly off the handle like that. God knows I should be used to you by now.
Not too used. Apology accepted.
Thank you. Now sit down, for goodness sake. You're giving me a pain in my neck. How was the concert?
I'm afraid the lady's somewhat past her best.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, every now and then there were glimpses of the old magic with the fire gone. Watson. She should have bowed out when she was still at her peak. Are you free to come round this afternoon?
I can be.
I've sent for Mr. Amberley.
So, it was Lestrade who sent him on to you.
Yes.
What was he doing handling such a minor case?
If I could explain the workings of Scotland Yard, I'd have sent it to my dirty, happy man.
Not yet, I hope. Happy or otherwise.
Oh, here.
Oh, thank you.
Another slice of cake?
Well, no, better not.
Just as you like. Anyway, friend Lestrade passed on the comments from Amberley's local force. Our client has the reputation of being a miser, as you picked up.
I wouldn't have gone so far as miser. I just said he was careful with his money.
Yes, he's also known as a harsh and exacting husband. According to Lestrade, the local man McKinnon was amazed that Mrs. Amberley hadn't taken herself off ages ago.
Oh, I must admit, he didn't strike me as being particularly prepossessing. Did you find out anything about this Dr. Ernest? Or do you still want me to turn on the charm with the local barmaid?
No, I think I can spare you that after all.
Oh.
Now, Lochner's client, this really is excellent cake. No, everything confirms his story.
Did you have reason to doubt it?
Ernest quite definitely played chess with Amberley and very probably played the fool with his wife. Good luck to the pair of them, was Lestrade's attitude.
Really? What about the theft of the money?
Well, he didn't actually say it out loud. Well, yes, the money's a complication.
How successful is this Dr. Ernest?
Oh, bravo, Watson. You dispel the fog and provide a clear view of the vital question. Successful enough not to need Amberley's little hoard, evidently. Oh, come in, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Amberley, gentlemen. Please go in, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Come in, Mr. Amberley. A slice of cake?
What? No, sir. No, thank you. I've had a telegram, Mr. Holmes.
Indeed.
And I can make nothing of it. Here.
Now, the doctor does these things with rather more style.
May I, Mr. Amberley?
I suppose so.
I have important information concerning your recent loss. Come at once without fail. Elman the Vicarage. Dispatched at 2:10 today from Little Purlington.
In Essex, I believe, not far from Frinton.